Hello children, I hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to learn about the 10th lesson in your health and physical education textbook, which is Let Us Fulfill Our Nutritional Needs. Let's get started. In your previous grades, you must have learned that we need nutrients to maintain a healthy life. However, during different stages in our life, we need different nutrients in different quantities. So at the end of this lesson, you will learn different nutrients needed during different stages in our life cycle, different nutritional needs of special groups, various myths regarding nutrition, and how to choose nutritious food. What are nutrients? They are substances that provide nourishment essential for growth and the maintenance of life. Basically, there are two types of nutrients: macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients include carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Micronutrients include vitamins and minerals. There are 6 groups of food: grains and yams, vegetables, fruits, meat, fish and eggs, pulses and seeds, milk and milk products. Examples for grains are wheat, rice, cornmeal, oats and barley. Using these grains, you make products like bread, pasta and cereals. Yams are edible tubers such as manioc, sweet potato and potatoes. Examples for vegetables are carrot, cucumbers, cabbages, and eggplant, and greeny leaves. Examples for fruits are bananas, oranges, apples, watermelons, and strawberries. Some examples for meat are pork, chicken, beef, and mutton. Examples for fish are tuna, salmon, and mackerel. Pulses are lentils, chickpeas, kidney beans, pinto beans, and mung beans. Some of the examples for seeds we consume are almonds, cashew nuts, and sunflower seeds and corn. Mainly we consume cow's milk, but goat's milk is also available in the market. Some examples for milk products are butter, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. It is important to understand the main nutrients and the foods that contain these nutrients and the functions of each of these nutrients. So carbohydrates are mainly included in grains and yams and fruits. The main function of carbohydrates is to provide energy required for our body. Proteins are included in meat, fish, eggs, legumes, and milk. They build new tissues, enzymes, antibodies, hormones, and other compounds required for different functions in our bodies. Lipids rich foods are pulses and seeds. They provide long-term energy, insulation, and protection for our body. Vitamins are included in vegetables and fruits. They facilitate use of other nutrients and also involved in growth regulation. Milk, fruits, and vegetables contain minerals, and minerals help build bones and teeth, also aids in muscle function and nervous system activity. Calcium is one of the main minerals required for bones and teeth growth. It is important to have a balanced diet because organs and tissues need proper nutrients to work effectively. Your body is more prone to diseases, infections, and if you don't get a balanced diet, also you will have a poor performance. Therefore, it is important to have a proper diet that contain right proportions of each of these nutrients, and the nutritional requirement change depending on your age, your gender, and your activity level. There are 5 stages of your lives. From birth to about 1 year, you are considered infants. 1 to 9 years, you are considered children. From 10 to 19 years, you are adolescents. 20 to 59 years, you pass youth and middle age stages. 60 years and above, you are considered elderly people. Nutritional needs of an infant is very important because this is the period during which the brain, bones, muscles, and connective tissues show intense growth. So it is very important to provide them all the nutrients at optimal levels. Up until about 6 months, infants are breastfed. So breast milk contains all the required nutrients. After 6 months, infants could be introduced to food gradually. You can start off with semi-solid food and then could move on to giving them solid food. Foods that are mostly given to infants are rice, green gram, cowpea, and chickpea. They contain carbohydrates and proteins. Green leaves contain minerals and vitamins. Fish, milk, meat, and eggs contain proteins, minerals, vitamins, iron, and lipids. Fruits contain vitamins and minerals. Oil, butter, margarine contains lipids. From 1 to 19 years is the stage of childhood. Nutritional requirements for both girls and boys are the same. They could be given about 3 main meals per day, and in between 2 to 3 snacks could be given. It is important to provide good nutritional food to children of 1 to 9 years of age because it helps in improving their growth and immunity. Giving unhealthy food like junk food and fast food should be avoided because it could lead to diabetes and obesity. A child engaged in sport will need food that provide energy because they have higher level of physical activity. Food containing more carbohydrate would be more suitable because carbohydrate provides the energy required for our body. From 10 to 19 years, you are passing the stage of adolescence. During this period, you show accelerated growth in weight and height. Therefore, it is important to provide a food rich in nutrients. But the nutritional requirements differ depending on the age, gender, height, weight, and the level of activity. For example, if like a male would require more energy than a female. Somebody of 19 years of age would require more energy than somebody of like 10 years of age, like that. And it is important to include extra amounts of protein, iron, iodine, calcium, vitamins like A, B12, C, and D, and folic acid in their meals because it is important to help the accelerated growth. Also, I have, as I have talked before, it is important to give them balanced meals. There are several bad eating habits that are practiced by adolescents, like missing the breakfast, eating junk food and fast food, consuming sweetened fizzy drinks, and consuming alcohol. These bad food habits could result in overweight and obesity, and deficiency of macronutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. And it will make you more susceptible to develop non-communicable diseases during adulthood. Um, I think you have learned what are non-communicable diseases in your previous lessons. They are diseases that cannot be spread from one person to another. And examples are diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and cancers. Um, then also bad food habits will um, result in giving you gastrointestinal diseases. One of the main gastrointestinal disease that you all know is gastritis, which is inflammations in your stomach. If you skip your meals or if you don't take your meals at right time, it will end up giving you gastritis. And menarche and menstruation in girls will um, start either early or late if you don't get sufficient nutrients. It will not only affect you. If you don't get enough nutrients, it will affect your offsprings as well, which will result in retarded growth. Also, musculoskeletal diseases during pregnancy and adulthood could be resulted due to bad food habits. When you come to youth and middle age, nutritional requirements vary depending on the gender and occupation. A male would need more energy than a female. And then if a person is involved in lifting heavy weights, that person would require more energy than a person who sits and work in an office. Different energy requirements are listed down in this slide. A man with a high level of activity would need 2700 calories per day. A man with a low level of activity needs 2200 calories per day. A woman with a high level of activity needs 2300 calories per day. A woman with a low level of activity needs 2000 calories per day. Even though I said earlier that a man would need more energy than a woman, you can see here that a woman with a high level of activity requires more energy than a woman with a low level of activity. So it is always important to consider your level of activity when considering your energy requirements. It is also important to be particular about nutritional needs based on your activity levels and your health. Nutritional needs would vary. Also, suppose you need 2700 calories per day. That is your energy requirement. But you take 3000 calories per day. That would result in excess 300 calories in your body. That excess calories will get deposited as fat in your body, resulting in weight gain. If you need 2700 calories, but if you take only 2500 calories, then you are taking 200 calories more required for your day-to-day activities. So that 200 calories would be produced by the fat deposited in your body. It will burn and produce the required amount of calories. Then that will result in losing your body weight. If you need to gain weight, you have to take more calories than your required amount. If you need to lose weight, you have to take less calories than the required amount. So you have to consider your body weight, height, your age, and your health factors when considering the proper amount of energy required for your for yourself. Also, it is important to get engaged in exercises daily. It helps to keep you healthy and fit. Consequences of bad food habits in youth and middle age are, if you consume high sugar content food, you will get diabetes. If you consume food that are very salty, you will end up getting high blood pressure and heart problems. And obesity, heart attacks, and strokes will be resulted by consuming food with high fat content. Consumption of starchy food with result in obesity. From 10 to 19 years, you are passing the stage of adolescence. Um, During this period, you show accelerated growth in weight and height. Therefore, it is important to provide a food rich in nutrients. Um, but the nutritional requirements differ depending on the age, gender. Uh, so, to ensure good nutrition during old age, you should provide them with food that increase their appetite and food that generate energy required for their day-to-day activities. And a food that has simple protein should be given to them to help in growth, because complex proteins would be difficult for them to digest. And intake of fiber is important because that will help in bowel movements and the absorbance of nutrients into the body, because during this time they experience constipation. So fiber rich foods are very important to be given to elderly people. Also, they should be given fruits and vegetables which are very easy to digest, and it should be control the intake of high sugar, oil, and salt. If they have diabetes, cholesterol and cardiovascular diseases, it is important to follow the advices given by the physician, because a person has diabetes, they should not be taking carbohydrate rich foods. If they are experiencing cholesterol, they should not be given lipid or oily food. Um, Select food with soft texture, because it would make it easier for them to bite and chew. So we have come to the end of this lesson. Um, I would want you all to go through the notes in the textbook, because they have additional information as well. And I want you to do the activities in pages 80, 81, 83, and 85. And please submit the completed activities to the Google Classroom. These bad food habits could result in overweight and obesity, and deficiency of macronutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. And it will make you more susceptible to develop non-communicable diseases during adulthood. Well, thank you for joining the class, children. Please make sure that you wash your hands, wear masks if you are going out, and try not to go out and stay healthy, because during this time it is very important to be safe and healthy. So take care, and thank you again for joining the class.